After a months-long investigation into disability pension abuses on the South Shore, the Patriot Ledger asked a public spending watchdog group to react to what we uncovered. Michael Widmer is the president of the Massachusetts Taxpayers Foundation.
The Patriot Ledger has learned that more than 1 in 10 people who worked for South Shore cities and towns are getting disability retirement pensions. That's 72% of their last year's salary, tax-free, plus lifetime health, all paid by taxpayers to the tune of about $23 million a year. Do those figures sound high to you?
Well, they do sound high. Obviously, we don't know case by case what's happened. But clearly, all the biases in the system, some are legal and others are based on the fact that local retirement boards often tend to be supportive of these kinds of applications from people who are claiming disabilities. The number seems very high to me, and I think it's a troubling number. It's a cost to the taxpayers that is not fully justified. Sure, there's some legitimate disabilities, but in total, much too high.
More than 2/3 of the people on the South Shore collecting disability pensions are police and firefighters who have been deemed permanently disabled as a result of their jobs. Now, according to state law, any heart or blood pressure problem is considered job-related and qualifies them for these pensions. Is this automatic qualification to define a disability too broad?
Oh, it's clearly much too broad. This is part of the legislature having previously over the years done favors for the public employees responding to police and fire. And so, yes, it's much too broad. And then adding insult to injury, getting 72% of your final salary tax-free, there's no sliding scale. So if you get a favorable result, then you get this this benefit forever, no matter whether you're really disabled or not.
Governor Deval Patrick just this week signed into law a pension reform bill. It's been credited for ridding the system of a lot of pension abuses, but politicians didn't touch the disability pensions. Why do you think lawmakers are hesitant to tackle them?
Well, it's a complex issue. That legislation the governor signed is a first step, as the leaders themselves have emphasized. I think the real question is whether they tackle some of these tougher, deeper issues which have real cost implications for taxpayers, like the disability system. We'd like to see the whole system centralized. We'd like to see a sliding scale instead of this 72% all or nothing. But it's going to be a very difficult set of issues to actually make these changes and find their way into law, because there are deeply embedded interests, obviously, in preserving the existing system. This legislation that was already passed is in many respects the easy step. Much more difficult step to make fundamental changes in the system. Certainly hope that the legislature and the governor do, but I'm not sure they will.